What's going on, gang? Welcome back to another video. I want to make a really kind of simple lesson that has opened a lot of agency owners' minds as to why they're not growing. So you're not growing, your agency's stagnated for a particular reason, and I'm going to explain to you why. And also, you might be confused because you might be an agency owner right now that's done a lot of work, work in terms of lead funnels, made creators, paid ads, you've done organic content, you've done networking events, like you've done all these activities, but you might still be ending up in the same, place in terms of revenue and profit than you were at the start of last year, right? So let's talk about why. And this is a thing that I see time and time again in a lot of agencies. So I want to explain to you really quickly just about these two timelines that I have in front of me. So number one is we've got this thing called an acquisition timeline, okay? And that's the green timeline at the top. And then below that in red is your churn timeline. Okay, so two timelines. Acquisition means when you acquire a client. Churn means when you lose a client. And typically what happens for agencies, so you can very quickly figure out whether your timelines match, your acquisition and churn timeline, if they match, if you're in the same position revenue-wise as you were at the start of last year. That's your key indicator, okay? So let's say that you've got, acquisition timeline, and typically you acquire a client every single 30 days. This could be 30 days, this could be 45 days, 60 days, whatever it is, right? And you might be doing things like paid ads to generate that client. And let's say that you spent $1,500 a month on the paid ads, okay? So this is after everything. You got 100 leads, you got 70 booked calls, you had 60 show up, whatever the numbers were at the front end, you only signed one. Cool. One client, it costs you $1,500 to get them. And let's say that you'll spend the $1,500 and you got them in 30 days. And then typically over here, you lose a client in 30 days. Again, I know agencies out there that go a whole year without churning clients. I also know agencies that churn clients every single 30 days. This is just an example. This timeline could be across 45, 90 days, whatever it might be, okay? But what will happen with some agencies is that these two are completely aligned. So typically when you do all of this effort in terms of let's just take that example of paid ads, you make the creators, you build out the funnels, you're running the ads, you're managing them, but you're only spending $1,500 a month, and then you acquire a client, you're gonna lose a client, your net position is zero, you haven't moved up, you haven't moved down. More often than not, you've probably moved down. So what we wanna do is we want to improve the volume. So that's what this kind of next section is. So you probably tried a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, paid ads, organic, word of mouth. Look, in my opinion, if I can say one thing, it's that paid ads is the best way to get leads to come into your business because you really just control it and you scale it. It's what I did to get my agency up to the point that it got to. So really getting paid ads is the main thing that you want to be doing. The only issue with let's take the example of paid ads is that you're not doing enough volume. Super simple. So if we go back up here and you're spending $1,500 a month on your ads, if you were to spend instead, because you've got metrics, let's just say that you've got $50 to $100 cost per lead, you're getting $100 to $250 cost per call, you're getting $250 to $300 or $350 cost per live call, you got $300 to $500 cost per offer, and $500 to $3,000 cost per close, for an average client value of $2,500 that typically stays on for a minimum of 3 to 6 months. That's a what, 4, 3, 5, 7.5 to $15,000 a month client. It costs you $3,000 to get it. Happy days, makes profit. We can always improve those metrics. But if you're achieving those metrics, right, you're not going to get them much better. Especially at the beginning. You can definitely change you can change your creatives, you can change your offer, you can do this, you can do that on the front end. But typically the biggest thing to do is spend more. For the paid ads example. For an organic content example, which I don't really run, but I definitely know people do it, post more. For the networking, if you get a client every 3 events, go to more events. Okay, this is the main point that I'm kind of talking about. So if we were to spend more here and double it, then we're typically going to find that we acquire a client in the middle of the month and at the end of the month. Okay, so then our net position is actually +1, okay? Because we'll lose a client here. And if we were to spend $6,000 on ads, then we might acquire a client here, 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 and here, and then we might lose one. Maybe your churn rate might go up. We don't know. There's so many other tail end issues operationally that can come with scaling up your business. But that's not what this video is about today. What I'm getting at here is that there's been periods in my agency that I have spent $10,000 to $15,000 a month on the ads. There's other agencies out there that are spending way more than that, right? But there's these sales cycles and periods, like it's January right now. We're heading into kind of January, Feb. This is like those lively points. Typically there's 6 out of 12 months of the whole year that you're going to be able to really take advantage of like high buying periods, client signing periods. This is one of them. Typically just before end of financial year is a really good period. And then just before Black Friday, Cyber Monday, like getting into August, really, and September, really good times to sign clients. That's just for us. You might be working in a different industry. You might have different sales cycles. But when you're in these periods, you don't want to be chugging along with $1,500 a month when you're achieving a $50 cost per lead, $150 cost per call. You're closing clients at $500 to $1,000. Like if you're getting those metrics, you need to realize that and ramp up your spend. Do more of what you're doing to generate that activity so that you can cut your acquisition timeline down and you can start to get ahead of what you're already going to anticipate, which is eventually clients leaving. All the clients that work with your agency right now, eventually over a long enough time period, they will all leave. But how fast are you acquiring clients compared to how fast you're churning them? And that's the biggest thing that I want you to kind of take away from today's video is that look at the activities. Even though you might have tried like word of mouth, referrals, organic content, paid ads, all that kind of stuff, make sure that if you do have it running in your agency, you're making good creatives, you have a good landing page, you're nurturing your leads, that you're giving that beast enough fuel to rev its engines high enough to grow your business, i.e. spend more damn money on your paid ads so that you can bring in more leads into your world and you can really kind of nail this acquisition timeline and get it 4 times faster than your churn timeline. So that's basically today's video. It's almost like a realization point. Understand your acquisition window versus your churn window and making sure that they don't align and getting things like paid ads, into your business. If you ever wanted help, like basically what we do is we build client acquisition systems like the paid ad system that scaled my agency as well as 300 plus other agencies. Like we build that for people. So if you wanted it, you just wanted to basically focus on managing your sales pipeline, showing up to your sales calls and doing it in less than 2 hours a week. Our whole goal is to open up the floodgates. And again, guys, it's what got my agency from 0 to 100K in year 2. We got to 200K a month in year 4. And then just last year, we actually got to successfully acquire like 100% exit out of the agency. And it was from systems like this, making sure that you have a good paid ads funnel, as well as a sales funnel to bring in new clients. So if you ever need help with that, there's a link below this video. You can book in a call with me and my team. And yeah, we can talk about how we can help you out with that. But beyond that, take this lesson and understand that and apply it and make sure that you're doing enough volume going into the rest of this year so you can actually see growth and you don't end up in the same position that, by the end of the year, if you're making 50 grand a month right now, don't end this year making 50 grand a month or maybe less or maybe more. Like be aggressive, do enough activity to see an increase in your agency. And if you want to talk about how we can help you with it, click the link below. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Thanks so much for watching.